We're with the Nielsen family. They are plane crash thrivers. They are people that I think haven't survived, but are doing more than that, and they are teaching others how to survive. On this program, we talk about some spooky things, and people's lives are about to change. Your lives have dramatically changed. Is anything really the same anymore, really?
Superficially, no, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not something that you would have, on the other side, picked. You would have said, you know what, I'm going to have a can of that, right?
No.
And I think that's the way a lot of Americans, that's why they don't want to look at what's possibly ahead, because they don't want a can of that. And they're going to get served a can of that, whether they like it or not. Some will.
Mm-hmm.
So now I wanted you guys on because I wanted to know what got you through. I think I know the answer, but I watched the 2020, and I didn't see God in that story.
No, and he didn't really show up in that story, but he was.
Was he mentioned
he
in
was a
the
huge
videotaping?
part. He was he was the part. He played the role in the story.
But no God was hurt in the filming of that story.
No, definitely not.
See, okay, good. So is that the reason you made it through?
Yeah.
Yeah, without question.
100%.
Okay. Members of your faith, strong members of your faith, we are both members.
Mm-hmm.
There are three of us are the same members of the same faith. Were you strong members before?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did any of this challenge your faith at any point?
No.
Not even a little bit.
And what role did it play?
It was central to everything that we did. You know, for the first 5 weeks of the accident, meaning before I woke up, it was just Stephanie's parents, my parents, and our siblings, and close friends and people who were reading the blog. But the people that came to the hospital and visited us and interacted with the doctors and the bleak reports they were giving about how things were, our outlook. Our family had great faith in God, a supreme being who was overseeing this healing, and they expected a great miracle, and they got it. And they had been exercising great faith and great prayer in our behalf for weeks. And when I woke up, I realized at what point they were at spiritually, and it gave me a lot of hope, and realized that they were in a good place spiritually, and how they were looking at our accident. And I got on board with that, and I wanted the same miracle. I wanted Stephanie to come out and make it through, and to have our life and health restored. And you know, the doctors always said, they said, you know, as far as Stephanie, they said, you know, if she makes it, she probably will never walk again. If she makes it, she won't have a nose or fingers or toes, or, you know, or legs. You know, if she makes it, and it was always predicated on if she makes it. But we had great hope in a miracle, and she's a bona fide miracle that we see today.
What was the God part that you wanted people to hear?
We all have problems. We all do. Every single one of us. Not one of us can go through this mortal life without trials. And it was when I woke up from my coma that I realized I was one of those people that actually needed to rely on God to help me get through this. I've had, you know, minor little problems where you say your prayers and then you get answers, but this was something much bigger than just a simple little prayer can fix this. This was relying on and giving everything up to him, leaving everything up to him. And it was hard to do that, but once I did that, once I remember just being alone in my hospital room and just praying out loud, just over and over again, making deals like, if I can live, I will share the gospel with every single person that I know. And I'm trying to live up to that because I believe that was part of the deal, and I'm doing it. I'm trying to do it. And so he was everything. He was the one that would be with me at nighttime when it was so awful and scary and I missed my children and my family, and he was there with me, and he never left my side, never, not once. And so to tell my story would be wrong if he wasn't a part of it, because he is the story. He's the one that made it triumphant and glorious, and so I felt a little bit saddened that he wasn't mentioned in the 2020 piece, because that is the story.
Have you read the book, The Survivors Club?
No.
Survivors Club is a book written by now the guy who I think heads ABC News. Does he not, Joe? Isn't he? Yeah, he heads ABC News. He's a friend of mine. He's a good man. And he wanted to find out, as a journalist, what do all these survivors have in common? People, plane crashes, mountain climbing, boat wreck, whatever happened to them. How did they survive? Number one thing they had in common: God.
God, of course.
God. That's what gets them through. Back in just a second.